Welcome to the Scottish Rite Journal podcast, an audio presentation of the Scottish Rite Journal, brought to you by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite, Southern Jurisdiction, Mother Supreme Council of the World. This week's article is Wing to Wing, the story of the library newsletter by Larissa P. Watkins, librarian, House of the Temple, and comes from the November-December 2022 issue of the Scottish Rite Journal. Towards the end of the periodicals age of the 19th century, Freemasons experienced a flowering in the field of Masonic information, knowledge, and inspiration. In this spirit, the newly appointed Assistant Librarian for the Library of the House of the Temple, William L. Boyden, 32nd degree, former stenographer to the Grand Commander, submitted, via Transactions of the Supreme Council for 1897, the following proposal: a bulletin or circular to be published annually or biannually, to be known as the Library Bulletin, which shall contain interesting facts as to the progress of the library, new editions of the books, names of donors, etc., which bulletin shall be sent to the various bodies of the Rite and to prominent libraries, thereby creating a general interest regarding the library. Alas, no action was taken on this library bulletin proposal to uplift the visibility of the library of the House of the Temple. It was not until a century later, in April 1999, that the first issue of the quarterly newsletter of the Library of the Supreme Council, 33rd degree, Southern Jurisdiction, saw the light of day. It was the suggestion of illustrious Arturo de Hoyos, 33rd degree, Grand Cross, Grand Archivist, and Grand Historian of the Supreme Council, to start the Friends of the Library program and its newsletter to report on the various activities and programs of the library, honor patrons, and highlight special items from the collection. The first issue featured Dr. S. Brent Morris, 33rd degree, Grand Cross, writing on his discovery of the 1723 Postboy, the earliest Masonic exposé. In 2003, the Friends of the Library publication changed its name to Amicus Quarterly. Along with a new title, the newsletter took on its first editor-in-chief, Heather K. Calloway, then coordinator of Library and Museum Services, who expanded the topics for the articles for Amicus Quarterly, rendering it more attractive and appealing for readers. Illustrious Dean Albin, 33rd degree, then Director of Information Systems, later joined the newsletter's efforts, creating a website for the library and museum. Within a few years, Dean, along with Heather and Elizabeth McCarthy, would email a digital newsletter to the Scottish Rite brothers. At this juncture, it is worth noting that from 2007 to 2009, Amicus had a high profile in 4 installments in the Scottish Rite Journal, Amicus's big brother. The journal's January-February 2009 issue, for instance, presented a page called Amicus, a report for Friends of the Library, which featured the library's extensive Robert Burns collection, the Albert Pike collection, and String of Pearls, a daybook, a collection of Albert Pike quotes compiled by Larissa P. Watkins, current librarian. The next transformation of the title and format of the library newsletter happened in the middle of the term of Sovereign Grand Commander Ronald A. Seal, 33rd degree. The newsletter for winter 2011 through 2012 was now Amicus Librarium. Then librarian Joan Kleinknecht greeted readers with an announcement that we will keep you current on all library events via the Amicus Librarium webpage. At the end of 2016, Amicus switched from a quarterly to an occasional newsletter, not unlike the occasional bulletin of the Iowa Masonic Library of the 1890s, which partly inspired Assistant Librarian Boyden's proposal in 1897. Nonetheless, enthusiastic contributions from the staff of the Scottish Rite Journal, such as the current journal managing editor Mark Dreisenstock, 32nd degree, KCCH, continued, and several of the Amicus Librarium articles from this period would appear in the journal. The last issue of Amicus Librarium came out in fall 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic, the change to a new librarian, and the reorganization of the structure of some of the House of the Temple departments obliged Amicus Librarium in its 2010's incantation to demit. In summer 2022, the library newsletter adopted a new name under Sovereign Grand Commander James D. Cole, 33rd degree, Amicus Illuminismi, a follow-up to Friends of the Library, Amicus Quarterly, and Amicus Librarium, and a worthy descendant of Assistant Librarian William L. Boyden's 1897 dream for a periodical to promote the interests, collections, and literature of the House of the Temple Library. We hold high hopes and wishes for our rejuvenated newsletter to win the hearts of the brethren across our jurisdiction and beyond. Like and share this article, And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you wish to comment, please leave one, and as a reminder, hit the notifications bell. Any accompanying photographs or citations for this article can be found in the corresponding print edition. The Scottish Rite Journal is published by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite, Southern Jurisdiction, Mother Supreme Council of the World. Mark Dreisenstock, 32nd degree, KCCH, Managing Editor. I'm your host, Matt Bowers.